stop.
Kigaru Taro.
For entertainment purposes only.
Only?
Only.
Hi friends, this is Terry from Kigaru Taro, and I have another story for you today. This is a really different one, okay? And it takes me someplace very different, not necessarily where you think that God or angels would take you. and but it was to learn some lessons, and I've been there since too for other reasons. So I was having a dream, and in the dream I went to an interview at our local kind of Whole Foods PCC kind of place, and it was very nice and relaxed, and for some reason I had my granddaughters with me at this interview, which is, I mean, when do you take your granddaughters to an interview? That's not normal. But boy, this dream really felt normal, and I decided after the interview, oh, we're right by that theme park. Let's go. Well, myself and the girls were going to go to it. So in order to get into the theme park, you actually had to ride a roller coaster there. But this roller coaster wasn't like anything I'd ever seen before. Each chair that you sat in, and everybody had their own chair, we were separate, was really like a swing. It was like a swing on 4 chains, and the metal part on top was the roller coaster. It went all over. And anyway, so you got in, you strapped in. In front of us was a little chubby older guy that was bald with just a few hairs sticking up. And my granddaughters were seated each in their own seat behind me. And so we started on the ride to go there. And we go in and out. The little man in front of us is not having a good time. He's not enjoying this. I'm enjoying it because I like rides, and my granddaughters were enjoying it as well. And once the ride ended, though, then you were in the theme park. And as you went out the doors, you were in a plaza. And the plaza was filled with people all over the places, on benches, walking around, talking and visiting. From the plaza, you could explore worlds. So I was sitting on a bench, and I could see to the left of me, which is that way, I could see Parisian world. We could go to Parisian world and look around. And behind that was like a Japanese world, and to the right was Dickinsonian England world, like you could go back in time. And past that was like a southwestern world, like down in the southwest of America. And as we're sitting there, the girls really wanted to go to the gift shop, which was behind us. And I gave them some money, and I was just going to sit there. But as I was kind of sitting there around the plaza, waiting for the girls to come back from the store, and I should also tell you right about now, I'm a very possessive grandmother. I would never let them go to the store on their own. But somehow in this world, they were kids, but they were also their own spiritual selves. And so I don't know why, but I didn't have any fears about them going to the gift shop alone. And as I'm sitting there, though, I suddenly get kind of whooshed down to Dickinsonian England. So they're in the gift shop, but now I'm going on to a world to explore. So I should tell you that it looked a little like Disneyland. You know, it was, nice plazas, nice people, everything painted and pretty and nice. And so I entered the Dickinsonian England. I should also point out one thing. My understanding of this place is they were like museums. You could go and explore those worlds. But you could also stay there, like a hotel. Yeah. So, as I entered Dickinsonian England, I still could see the park. I could still see that we were in a Disneyland-esque park and that we were being shown Dickinson, England, you know, there were dark cobbled pavements, lights flickered with candlelight instead of real light. But I could still see the edges of the park. I could still tell this is an experience. This was the park. I had not yet suspended my disbelief. And what I mean by that is, you know, when you read a book or you're watching a really good movie, you're kind of there. You're kind of present in that movie because you have suspended your disbelief. You're there. You're buying into this. So it was very real. It was really real. And as we wandered around and we went through rooms and tenements and all sorts of things, it was dirty. It was sooty. The dirt and the soot was getting under my fingernails even. And we explored tenements, flop houses, pubs, and other gathering places. And I kept thinking, why would anyone stay here? Why would you stay here? But as I wandered around, I started to see little trinkets and coins in the soot. And for some reason, I started collecting them and putting them in my pocket. And after a while, though, as I started to suspend my disbelief and not see the edges of the park anymore, I actually found myself stealing, taking these coins, taking these trinkets, because I thought I might need these to buy food later or to find a room to stay in. And I started becoming part of old Dickinsonian England. And my husband Takashi was with me in this, so even though he wasn't in the plaza, he didn't come, it felt like he was following me behind me, which is weird. And so he probably wasn't really there, but one of my quests is finding some place to sleep that night. And I, for some reason, thought he would need to sleep there with me. That's part of the dream part where you like no control. I was told by a person there that I should go talk to a certain person about a place to stay. And so they directed me to a flop house, and I went in and I entered an old room, and it was like an old English room. It was very dirty and very realistic still, and there was a person like at the front desk, kind of. And I asked to talk with X. I'm saying X because I can't remember the name of the person. And the person there just was sitting, reading a book, and they just cocked their arm and pointed behind them. And there was a couple stairs leading to a room, and I recognized that it was like a bedroom, kind of. And that the person that I was supposed to talk to was in that room. So I just waited around, and pretty soon the door opened, and out came this 2 to 3 year old child in a sexy peignoir with a man following her. And I was about ready to lose it. I mean, lose it. Because even though this isn't my time and place, you know, I got ethics, I got things I can't tolerate, you know, and I'm about ready to lose it. And the little person turned to talk to me and said, "What do you want?" in this smoker's voice. And I suddenly recognized that she was ancient. She wasn't a child. She was small, but she was an ancient being. And I didn't go off on everybody because I realized, okay, this is not your world, Terry, and I don't know what's going on here, but this person, I'm supposed to talk to them, and I'm supposed to learn something. And so I talked to her, and she pointed out, she told me where to find a place to stay and how much money I would need and where to go. And so I started to leave, to go down, to follow the directions of where she said, and I was almost to the place where I was going to sleep, which is in this dirty, dungeony-like place, and my cell phone rings. And I was completely amazed, because it's like, oh, I have my cell phone still. And then I can suddenly see the edges of the park a little bit more. My disbelief is coming back. And it was a call from an old friend who has had addiction issues and has been down on her luck, and she wanted me to come help her. And so it seemed to me that what I understood is she was in the next world over, in Southwest World. And so as I ended the call, I found myself right back out on Main Street in the theme park, and I wondered how I would find my friend. And it you know, as I was trying to figure this out, I actually suddenly found myself back at the plaza, and I was sitting on the bench again, and my granddaughters came running out of the gift shop, and they were showing me their treasures, and they each had bought a little rubber ring yo-yo, you know, those little rubber rings that go in your hand and you can bounce the thing, and they were the world. They each had bought the world on a rubber string. Oops. Oh, hang on, sorry, I got something going on here. There we go. They had bought the world, and they could bop it up and down, and you know, but I got the feeling it was really the world. And every time they bopped it, something happened to us all. And as they were playing with that and being so happy about it, I thought, wow, I'm not going to call it, I suddenly stopped calling it Dickinsonian England and called it Dirty World, because it was filthy, filthy. And it made me think about, I love genealogy, and it made me think about, wow, our genes made it through that much dirt. We're pretty tough people. And I was thinking, but why would anyone want to go to Dirty World? And so I thought I should choose a different world to explore. And I kind of thought maybe the French one might be cleaner, or even the Japanese one. But the second I thought I would go ahead and go to another world, I was woken up immediately. And I woke up with a big start. I mean, a real shock. And I kept asking myself questions. And the first one is, where was I? Where the heck was I? Because I was not on this earth, but I could access different time periods of Earth. Was that the Matrix? I don't know. The biggest questions, are we in Dirty World now? Have we just suspended our disbelief and we're just here now, not seeing the edges? That's what makes sense to me, because I thought, you know, if we're spirits having a human adventure, we've obviously had to suspend our disbelief. And then the final question I had, are we feral? I mean, because I felt it was so dirty. I was stealing. I was doing whatever it took to survive. And I just like, am I, or we, am I feral? What the heck? Did they just turn me loose on another world, another time period, and I just had to survive? Is that what we're all really doing? Well, you can discuss amongst yourselves whether that's what we're doing. So um, I do think that this experience that I was taken to was a little bit of time travel. I think I was off world or back somewhere where we make decisions about where we want to go and what time we went, and that could be. But I also some of the lessons I think I've learned here is I think we agree to suspend our disbelief to come here. I think we don't see that this is a big set or a stage or a world for us to play in. I think that we are, or I am, a little bit feral. Yeah, just down here doing it on our journey. And I also think we don't always get what we want, but we get what we need. I think that partially I was thinking I don't want to say superior spiritually. I wasn't, because I don't think I am, but I was probably thinking a little too highly of myself, and they probably wanted to say, it really depends what space we put you in and what time, depends on how good you are. So that was interesting. And today I particularly got a good lesson in what you don't always get what you want, but you got what you need. I'm sure hoping this hair color is what I need. I thought I was getting a nice kind of dark blonde, but my hairdressing materials must have been very, very old, and I am red. I don't know how I got red, but I'm red now. So hopefully this is what I need. Okay, so thank you so much for listening. Please stay tuned, like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye.